5 SEA qualifiers. Guys, we have two teams fighting for their international lives, Rave and TnC. This is game 3 of a loser's bracket series. Joining me is Purge, also Gods, and Luminous. How are we doing, guys?
I'm happy it's going to game 3. I mean, way to make it close. After the first game, I was like, man, is Rave just going to get knocked out? They got put in a bad position due to losing that best of 1 versus MVP Phoenix. And then losing to TnC like that, man, it must be really demoralizing. But they completely pulled it back game 2. Really solid play out of them.
Same draft.
I figure kind of why not? And I think very importantly, they pick up Shadowfiend in the first pick stage rather than the second one, because I was kind of mentioning it before we came in. If TnC go for a similar draft, they're going to ban out the Shadowfiend in the second stage.
Okay. Right. Okay. This is the mid-juggernaut, right?
Yeah, this is a mid-juggernaut.
They replaced Bloodseeker with Jug. I guess they say, look, the Bloodseeker didn't work. Let's go with the other hero, which sometimes works.
Yeah. And yes, you could still TP out against Juggernaut now, but
you die very quickly.
You die very, very quickly. The way that's very different that Juggernaut allows you to play is because of the magic immunity you get, you could just like zip through all the heroes in front. You can even go for supports in the back. Right. The max healing ward, as we previously pointed out, is absolutely huge.
And no one has physical damage in the early game or even the mid game, really, unless they're picking heroes like Ursa or something.
So. Shadowfiend has a bit, but nothing to...
He's
got plus 60 from
yeah.
He's got minus armor.
But it's not like
well.
he has. I mean, he has the bonus damage, but
it's not like, bursty.
Yeah, it's not like Ursa or like a Sonic Wave from Queen of Pain kind of thing.
One thing that's really impressed me from Juggernaut and his, or for Teehee in his Juggernaut play has been how good he's been at microing his healing ward. When these big mid-game fights happen, he's really good at throwing the healing ward down and just kind of being in the middle of the fight and getting damage done with his hero, but also keeping the healing ward just out of reach for the enemy teams, where if you really want to dive and make sure you kill the healing ward, you're overextending with your heroes to do so. So he is – I'm really looking forward to seeing his play here.
That's pretty impressive, too, because they just nerfed the movement speed on the healing ward, so it's even harder now to do that than before. But it is an Earthshaker at least, so he's going to have trouble hitting it. Shadowfiend's probably going to be preoccupied. Hopefully they get some other range heroes that can take care of that. One decent hero for getting it, Winter Wyvern can kill it very easily. Phoenix is okay with the dive. Been seeing that in some of the other games, but not exactly like a counter. You're like, yeah, I'm going to pick Phoenix just to counter the healing ward. Doesn't really happen.
Yeah, and Rave, they're going to go with the Witch Doctor pickup, a very solid pickup in SEA. I don't really think I've seen a Witch Doctor.
Lost 2 games today, though.
He has lost 2 games today, but before that he was 18-3. So maybe he's just kind of bringing himself back down to the mean. But I think in general, I don't think the games Witch Doctor's lost. We thought the Witch Doctor was a bad pick per se. It's more of maybe it wasn't the right game overall.
It felt like he was kind of put into the wrong draft because I felt like in both games Witch Doctor never actually did anything. So I don't know.
Yeah. Game 2, I think, was the TnC cores just kind of underperforming a bit. Game 1, I think Rave was maybe slightly outdrafted. They had the Witch Doctor Bristleback off lane, but lost that lane pretty badly. So
it'll be interesting to see what TnC goes up for here. They already have the heroes for Noji and Teehee, who will almost certainly be on that Juggernaut in the mid lane. Just 2 supports and an off lane hero. You know what I'd like to see is maybe not a Bristleback for Sam H. I feel like the weakest games I've seen for TnC so far in this qualifier is when Sam H is on the Bristleback. He's a hero that likes to get, or a player that likes to get involved in fights early, and Bristleback really needs to stick around in his lane and get a little bit of farming levels before he contributes. So maybe going something for the Nature's Prophet, or maybe another offlaner for TnC for Sam H.
They could definitely win the mid matchup here with Juggernaut. I think Prophet's a good idea. If they can jump in and sprout the Shadowfiend in with the Juggernaut, I think SF is definitely in some trouble here. Again, he can right click okay, but with the magic immunity, he can't do the raises until last second, so it can get a bit down to the wire to whether or not you get a kill or not. So I think the mid matchup's going to be really huge here, and it's not as straightforward as the Bloodseeker one was. You know, if you get ruptured, it's gone. You know, you TP and you're fine. But against Jug, you have to make a hard decision. You either tank all the spin magic damage and worry about the Omni Slash afterwards, or it might get scary, I think. And the supports maybe need to rotate a bit better than they did last game for TnC to win that.
Right,
so
and now the pickup.
Yeah. I think this is where, personally, if I'm TnC, I'd say, okay, let's go with the offlane Queen of Pain and pick up a true Brood Cutter. Let's get Axe here, maybe a Legion Commander, but I mean, they actually don't have great initiation, so I think either option works fine.
I think Queen's fine against Brood, right? You just scream, or you run out of mana.
It's okay.
Actually.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good, really. You get like 2 spiders. You can send in them one at a time.
Yeah,
Quap's got low armor. They did nerf the poison damage over time, I believe, but I don't
It takes
really
2
like
screams
it.
as well to kill the
What about-
big spider.
Yeah.
I know we've been crying for the Jug mid, but Jug safe lane if you max spin.
I think Jug also struggles.
Yeah.
I think the only heroes to me which do really well is like the Axe, Legion Commander, Darkseers.
No.
There's that Prophet.
Yep, there it is.
Brian, you're
I've watched a
everything.
lot of TnC these qualifiers.
I
A
see.
lot of TnC.
I thought that at least from the offlane position, Phoenix would have been a decent pick as well.
Yeah.
Because Juggernaut's going to go in and spin and command so much attention in front that your egg is most likely popping.
I think this is one of the weaknesses, though, for TnC is that their hero pools do seem to be relatively limited. They seem to stick around the same 20 or so heroes.
But they always have a backup, so it's not like you can
Yes.
ban out their heroes. You
But-
can maybe push them into a certain direction that you want them.
Right, but when you see something like a Broodmother, I would highly doubt they would end up going something for like an Axe or a Legion Commander, one of these harder counters, because they're just not very comfortable playing it.
So with Brood, I think there's two main ways of dealing with a hero. You get the hard counter, get the 1v1 matchup like the Axe, the Legion Commander. The second option is having really aggressive killing supports that like zone him out, get Sentry's Dust level 1, and don't let Brood ever get a hold of the lane, which
Right.
I guess to me is what TnC are going to opt to do here instead with like a Disruptor plus whatever it may be, Avenge, Witch Doctor's been taken, so some other strong range support that can kind of partner up against the Brood.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of supports that work against Broodmother.
Does it matter as much because they have potentially a core quap? Like that's the range on her blink is so much that Brood constantly has to be worried because most carries have to walk over within 3 seconds. But if they do have 2 supports, they can just combo up with the quap and just blow him up. It's really scary for Brood.
I like Venge against Brood because you can use the Wave of Terror to scout Brood when you're hiding over the trees.
True.
I've seen EG have support Venge against Brood and do very well with it. So while it's not got any AoE or clear obvious counter Brood measures, it does work out kind of nicely.
So Ember Spirit being the last pick, one of the few carries that does not give two hoots about Disruptor glimpse. You could, if you play well, you could kind of disjoint a lot of his spells. Sing Sing, I think the other day picked it or played it and just made a Disruptor look silly.
Also one of Chrissy's best heroes to me. So he used to pick this all the time against MVP Phoenix when they were playing a lot until MVP Phoenix finally started beating it. And they used to be even first pick worthy for them. So.
Yeah, a hero also is very good at dealing with the Omni Slash because you get out of it in multiple ways. So, very solid pick.
In the late game, I feel like there'll be an Orchid for sure on Nature's Prophet. There's a lot of silences that could potentially come out of TnC, so I almost feel like in the late game, Ember Spirit's going to be a little weak. I guess he's okay against Prophet because he can close the gap really easily, potentially start the lockdown, but...
I don't think... If TnC is involved, I don't think the game is going to be decided late, though.
Yes.
I think a majority of the game is going to be decided one way or another in 20 minutes. So maybe going for early game centric picks is the way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of proliferation of these picks, right? It's kind of like, oh, well, we're going to go early game. Well, we're going to go even more early game. And they both kind of counter back and forth with these picks. And at some point, somebody kind of has to back off and go, okay, we'll go slightly less hard and see what we can do. And just whoever ends up winning those fights or winning the lanes, it becomes very pertinent to who's going to win the mid game and take the series. So, all right, guys, this is it. Whoever loses this game, their international hopes are dead. The winner stays alive and can maybe claw through and get on in. So we'll have a look at it right now. Sand King, the final pickup for TnC, as we saw there. Who do we think won the draft, guys? Do we have a firm consensus?
I think Rave did. I really think the Ember Spirit fit nicely. The Brood pick is not going to be the easiest thing in the world to deal with as well.
Yeah, go ahead, Lumi.
I'm not sure. I think the Sand King was actually a decent pick, right? A support that could somewhat deal with the Brood, but
Can roam a lot on SF in the early game as well. If the ganks are really heavy and successful for TnC, and it could be either hero, it could be either Disruptor or the Sand King. Sounds very dangerous for Shadow Fiend. He's got to worry about the jug spin, assuming it is a mid.
So do you like TnC's draft there?
I don't know. I usually just look at what colors look better, and that's usually my prediction. Or stuns, one of those two. Who has more stuns? That's pretty equal. So I really have no idea.
All right, with that, guys, we're going to have Luminous and Gods finishing up our Game 3 of this series.
Well, here we go, Lumi. One of these two teams is being knocked out of the TI5 SCA qualifiers. The Philippines will be left with one hope remaining to take on the Korean Overlords in MVP and MVP.
I think TnC has what it takes to go all the way. Although when I went out, Rave seems to be the couch favorite outside on the Mango stream.
Okay,
so.
I'm 50. I feel coming into Game 3, before saying the draft, I would have said TnC like 55, even like 53-47 or something. Stupid.
That's like not even saying anything.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's very even coming in. I think Rave the bigger name, and a lot of people coming into this qualifier didn't know who TnC were, but they to me were a team who maybe should have even won Group A if they didn't have that one bad
the
series.
skank though.
They're ready.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they don't walk in.
They just go for the safe rune, which is it's all right.
Nobody's up top. Now let's get
Run.
our marathons on.
Prophet has TP.
Queen of Pain's winning it.
Prophet has TP.
It's Brood versus Queen of Pain. Who's gonna get there?
It's the most anticlimactic race.
Queen
like
of Pain.
Blink Claw.
She got it. Look at her
All right,
work
double
those
rune,
legs.
Double rune.
You know Queen of Pain gets some good exercise.
You know that's one of the few rare cases that Prophet could have hit level 2 instantaneously. Got the bot rune TP
Yeah.
at the top. It's like, yep, I won. And then I could jungle.
I'm about to say, what's the value of having level 2 Prophet instead of having a Queen of Jug who's going to have a much easier mid lane?
Look, I'm not saying that's the best play, but hey.
Insta Sentry gets put down, and they've got 3 heroes here, so Rio's going to be forced to... ooh, almost latches. That hits. They even use the second Sentry. They catch Rio. No, they will get this kill. He's trapped here. He can't move. He can't go over pathing with the damage being taken in.
First blood to Disruptor. All right.
That's a great start for
Yeah.
TnC.
Also, AU has moved on to the Senking. Generally, kind of the playmaker, the roamer of the two
Yep.
supports. So
Played the Earthshaker in game 1,
Exactly,
the Farming
yeah.
Disruptor game 2.
So, this particular matchup, how would you think it works? I've never really seen it too much. So
Jug versus SF?
Yeah.
I imagine it's pretty good for the SF until Jug hits 6, and then he has to be kind of careful. For Jug, it's just get your bottle up as early as possible and use that to sustain yourself in lane.
Do you think he goes bottle though? Because I know I'm pretty certain that Jug goes boots first, and when he goes boots first, do you kind of have to go boots first yourself?
Yeah, I'd say if you see Jug get boots, SF is thinking, I want my own boots. SF, once he has a couple... If SF gets a decent number of early souls, he can win the farm battle and make it hard for Tiki to actually last hit. It looks like he's got 700 gold. We'll see what he picks up in just a second here, but yeah.
Alright, it's going for bottle.
I think you need the bottle. If you go boots and you don't get a kill, or you just get hit by a couple raises, suddenly you have no sustain in the lane.
Yeah.
To me, bottle first is the only way to play the Jug side of this matchup.
Well, at least Prophet is having a decent time. Seems like he's not complete zoned out in the lane. You don't
Yep.
see him kind of retreating back into the jungle. I mean, another reason to go for boots first is your Prophet could come in, so you could play a lot more aggressive.
That's true.
But he's
That's
gone
where
for
you
the-
keep track of, especially keeping track of how many Tangos are on the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
The Shadow Fiend wants to always have at least one Tango to get out of a Sprout. At the same time, Tiki wants a Tango to get inside of the Sprout. Should he not be caught in with the Blade Fury, you can just Tango in, join the Shadow Fiend, and spin away.
Are we going to see a courier snipe? It's walking. It's delivering.
Ooh,
You're just seeing it.
Yeah, I did see it. Not going to... Oh, he sends it south.
But it's
Nice
walking
try.
past the ward, though. Ooh. Look.
His bottle growing. He's going to put the bottle on there as well. This could be...
Is it walking south? That's the question.
Oh,
If he
doesn't look like it. He fakes him
didn't see
out.
it. You know, earlier when Prophet TP at level 1 to drop that ward, I thought it was going to be a behind the tower ward for that play. But
I mean, could
the dream
somewhat
was not there. Yeah.
serve double purposes because so many mids now send that courier through that pathway.
Right, you're playing very defensively. They will get a D ward.
So Ryan knows about this, but he's not contesting lane at all, and he really needs at least level 3 to start getting that spiraling army out. He's forced to use webs very defensively in lane, and having just level 2, this means he just eliminated one of his previous webs in the lane.
So would you say that TnC have done a fairly good job? I mean, the first blood aside,
Yeah.
like this brood is not doing much, right?
I think a big part of it is the first blood, because that meant Brood missed a lot of experience in lane.
Yeah, that's fair.
Normally Brood would hit level 3 a lot faster. Brood, it's like you die and you hit like each level timing a bit slower maybe. But they've done a good job. They've been entirely prioritizing, it seems, for the most part, keeping Brood out of the lane. One support maybe doing some pulls.
Yeah, so I mean, I think some of us were saying this draft is somewhat Rave favored, but given how the first 4 minutes has went, it was first blood towards TnC. They got both bounty runes, and Juggernaut is having a grand old time in the mid lane. So I think
it's. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the dream start for TnC. So I think things are going pretty good for TnC.
But it's not so bad to say that, all right, game's over for Rave. I think they are still very much so in it. It comes down to the early game support rotation because oh, hold that thought, because Sam H is about to get killed.
Yep. Chrissy going to get one to his name, and this is not a hero-player combination that you want to give an good early game start to. By the way, the CS in mid lane, Teehee.
Yeah, he's leading by a lot. I'm not sure exactly how. Fissures kind of come in under the tower range. He's still going to go in. Omni Slash is going to get the bounces correctly.
Outplayed.
And that's going to kill. Yeah.
Jugmage is turning fire. About to say, get out of the tower range and then stop fighting. And he's got Blade Fury in about 10 seconds time. So
And that cooldown. He's bottling up. He could actually go for this play. TP coming
Prophet
from
could
Prophet.
TP him with
Did he see him
Treants?
go into the trees?
I think he may have. You know, he pokes his head out now. So
By the way, whatever happened to that meme, hide in the trees or stay in the trees? I don't hear it anymore. Oh, look at
wow,
this.
next
Look
level.
at this tactics.
That's the one of the very few Dota mechanics I really do not like and think should be removed. Is
I can
TPing to
see
refill
that.
bottles.
I can
think
see that, yeah.
I like that there's the lingering fountain so you can throw spells if it's your own bottle, but I don't like how you can have a support TP in to fill up someone else's bottle.
Yeah.
I think I only like. I mean, I don't think it matters if you got rid of it entirely that you can't even use it on your own bottle, like when you TP in and throw spells. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Oh, Ice Rock, I guess, does not agree. By the way,
knows?
this Prophet is dead. He actually walked towards
There's
his
no
tree.
mana for Fissure, but Chrissy,
Yeah,
would
that
kill
cast
him.
actually killed him. Here comes a Juggernaut. He does not have Omni Slash. Christie, though. Oh, well, that shield is blocking a ton of the spin, but despite
It's
so...
good. As soon as it pops, it's well, okay. Won't chase further. Teehee off to a great start here. In
Uh-oh.
comes Jo.
Uh-oh.
Wants the 6-minute rune more than anything, and Teehee.
Oh, he didn't get the last... Did he not have mana or something? Oh, he missed.
He missed
okay.
one. I don't think he has the. It was level 3 raise. I think it would have been a bit short on damage anyways, and more than anything, Jo wanted to make sure the 6-minute rune didn't go to the Jug, who could then stay in lane, heal himself back up, and continue to farm.
Just have Prophet TP in. Don't worry. You refill your bottle. Right?
You're laughing, but I was about to say that
Yeah,
could
that's
very
probably-
well have happened.
yeah, that could
I'm-
be a thing.
I'm surprised it didn't happen. But Jug, I think... Oh, no, he didn't run for the top row. That's actually still there. He's actually bottle crying, so there we go. Courier's slowly walking back to base.
All right, so last time I saw him play this Jug mid, it's essentially he plays it like a hard ganker. He loves to just dive between the towers.
Is it
But
like
he-
drums, Yasha? What kind of item?
Yeah, I think it's face drums, I want to say.
Yep.
But or there was like SNY in the mid game, but he's actually not ranking up healing ward because level 9 last time he
Wow.
had 441, 4401.
It's just the one. I feel like one. You could easily justify the 1 point in early stats, and now start going elsewhere. Actually goes for crit. Okay.
I wonder if that 1 point is necessary for the mana to have the Omni Slash because it is very mana intensive.
Yes.
But he also upgrades Magic Wand simply for the purpose of getting more stats. So, I mean, if Teehee was here, I would actually be very curious in terms of why was there a big difference in terms of the skill build. Soul Ring on Quap. So Bloodstone. Is this where you? Okay, I feel like for
Against
Queen of Pain,
Brood, yeah, that's probably one of the
yeah,
few
yeah, yeah,
matchups
that's a
where
fair
it makes
point.
sense.
you need mana. Yeah, okay. Bottom lane.
Oh, this has not been Sam H's game. Has not been his series, really. He struggled a bit last game on the Bristleback and going to get caught out again here on the Nature's Prophet. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're going to gank Jo, and a nice rotation from Disruptor.
Glimpse. See ya. Oh, is he going to come back, though? Where'd it go?
What? It's surely still there. Yeah, it's got the activate. Okay, there we go.
Okay, it went away.
That was weird.
All right, so I think at this point, Prophet should just start jungling. And I think he's going there.
Yep.
Oh,
Doing
Sankey's
just that.
jungling too, so maybe not.
Can kind of share.
Oh, he's almost got Blink. Wow.
This is every game with AO. This one, more so than any of the previous, though. A 9-minute blink. And he didn't get the first... He did get the first blood. No, he didn't.
No,
Oh,
it was
he's
his
just been
Disruptor that
jungling.
got
Damn.
the first blood.
This is actually ridiculous. You could play like the greediest possible Sanking, and 8.5-minute blink would be insanely good.
Yeah, I actually think with this Blink, you just go mid again. You shut down that Shadow Fiend.
If you can kill Chrissy, great, but I think you'd need either Queen of Pain to TP in or the Juggernaut with an Omni Slash. So, yeah, JO's the safe kill.
Yeah, it's a high percentage kill. And Shadow Fiend, yeah, sure, he could make that comeback. But look at him. He's got Circlet and Boots.
Yep. So, no money for a smoke. Ideally, you'd beg a support to buy your smoke. Okay, he's got a support there. Disruptor's got the smoke for him. And
Okay, they have Status Storm. They could kill
yeah,
that.
Blink, Bar Strike, Static Storm. This, to me, is a better kill than the Shadow Fiend, assuming you get it. And they have got the damage to get it. He
he's
puts
got-
a...
Oh, they will get
he
it
had
off.
half a second there, but he didn't get out of there. Epicenter, Static Storm, everything being thrown on Chrissy.
He just walks out of it. That's cool, you know. There's like a field. It's sometimes really like buggy. Or did it just
I mean, it was
end?
level 1. It may have ended.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I want to say that might have ended.
And it's gonna be a drum field on Jeff.
Yep. And this is where he will start leveling up the healing ward probably, since he'll have more stats, more mana to work with, and he'll be much more aggressive around the map.
I also think this is it's a great Battle Fury game if he wants to go for it. in more of a mid to late, considering that there's a Broodmother.
Brood? Yeah, I think they've got enough clear with Sanking and Queen of Pain, so that to the
It's not a
extent
bad
that-
item when you're Omni Slashing too. It's
Yeah. I'm not sold on the Battle Fury. I think Battle Fury is much more like, okay, early to mid, it's more like a comeback item if the early mid game isn't going well and you feel like you got to go for
That's
the late
true.
game.
so I guess
To me, it doesn't suit the TnC playstyle.
yeah, I guess once you go Battle Fury, you're like, well, we're effed. Broodmother Midas, okay.
Standard for the most part.
Yeah.
It's one of those heroes where there's no real like 11, 12-minute item that you can spend your money on to do something crazy good. Nice initiation. Well timed.
I think that this would be a decent Orchid game, though we haven't seen Orchid on Brood for
Yeah.
a while.
Orchid's one of those, and the few times I do see it, I'm always kind of underwhelmed by it.
Look at Jo, he's just
You know,
He's
Blink
behind
this Blink
T2.
on Sanking is just
yeah.
such a threat. No one can be somewhere. Look at Witch Doctor at the same time. Also, bottom tier 1 tower, hiding.
Yeah.
Nobody can come to a lane unless they have friends.
Yeah.
But they've implemented the hand-holding policy here, as Rave have to either hide or move around together. They're doing so at top lane, and TP's coming in. That's Juggernaut with an Omni Slash.
Oh, Drum's gonna get used, and Chrissy is the target. He goes in the tree for now. Glimpse, is he gonna go zip back in the trees? Static Storm
he didn't
was
dodge
waiting
it.
for him, and Chrissy is gonna eat up Omni Slash. He will go down as a result. How many more
He
can
didn't Omni
TnC
Slash
get?
as well. He's still got it. He may go for the Witch Doctor with this. The cast bouncing
he's-
around.
Oh!
He gets chain stunned. That was very fortunate. And Chrissy ball back to take this fight.
Yeah, I think he could get the Queen of Pain killed. I think Chain's on cooldown though. Disruptor on the run, and he should make it home. Keep in mind, Juggernaut in theory could buy back as well and join the fight, but looks like he's gonna hold
Yep.
on to it.
Jug didn't get Blade Fury or Omni Slash off because of this Witch Doctor cast. Kind of RNG maybe. I don't know if there's anything else for it, like after the second bounce for it to go
He had
to, but
15 wand as well, so yeah, I guess.
he was just permanently stunned there. That was could have gone very differently if he gets an Omni Slash off, then he Blade Fury, pops down the healing ward, and suddenly Jug doesn't die, and I'd say Witch Doctor looked very dead there.
Yeah. But I say that was a decent fight for TnC though, because they still forced the buyback on the Ember Spirit.
Yep. And I think Ember Spirit, one of the less early to mid game item dependent heroes. It's not till late game where you really need items, but still overall good. I mean, look where the Jug's sitting for the most part.
I like the fact that Chrissy has been playing a lot more active, because a lot of other Ember Spirit could just be like AFK farming right now. So, but he's definitely utilizing the fact that his hero has some of the best kind of disabled. The chain is so good against Queen of Pain.
When they play this hero, it's normally like a 2-position Ember Spirit trying to create space for their mid farmer, in this case the Shadow Fiend, but they haven't done much to protect Shadow Fiend, so he's really playing catch up this game.
Chrissy coming in, trying to get the tower now. Will not get it, but oh, it's going to get silenced up. Oh, he's out of here, but he's right back in. He will go to the right side again. I think he has one more remnant.
No, that was his last one.
Uh-oh.
It's on cooldown, and he has not thrown it anywhere. Chrissy just completely on the run, has no TP as well. He's
He
going
is
to wait
fast.
20 seconds.
But they see
TP,
him.
no Sprout. They did get vision right away.
I mean, space created already, I think.
Kind of. If they can get like a tower top, maybe. They're going up there to
Yeah,
push
they're
it.
doing that just now.
Chrissy
He's
may
actually going to
actually
just
live,
run
yeah.
to his team. Okay.
He's actually going to get to his team and
Yep.
survive. He's got a Fire Remnant now as well. Okay, that's one way of doing it now. Noji going to find cast here.
Is he dead? Sonic Wave.
Sonic
is
Wave
there?
if he wants to, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good for TnC.
Yeah, it's okay. It costs him a Sonic Wave, and Queen of Pain has to go back and heal, so... Definitely, like you say, a lot of space created chasing around the Ember Spirit who doesn't even die in the end.
All right, so what does Jug go in this particular game?
I think just SMY.
Yeah, the HP is very necessary, as we saw
Yep.
from the previous fight.
I don't think... I mean, BKB is just too defensive and neutral.
I think any consideration for Shadow Blade?
Slight consideration. I think it could make a good play here or there, but once Rave get are ready for it, yeah, once they get detection, it could quickly become a waste investment. But
I mean, I think Silver Edge against Shadow Fiend is just the damage reduction. But I guess he also will go BKB eventually. Oh no, he's going Eels first. Okay. Yeah, dodging that Omni Slash is big, and again, for most of the same reason, you get glimpsed into a Static Storm. You could use and reduce a bit of that damage. Same thing for the Queen of Pain. Although Queen of Pain is not going for Orchid this game, right? I haven't actually got a. That's going
Acceptor,
for.
it looks like.
Yeah.
One hero hasn't really been able to do much this game, to me, has been the Nature's Prophet. We haven't really seen Sam H get involved in much. He's helped push the tier 1 bottom tower, now he's swung top, but it doesn't feel like he's necessarily been the key hero to make that happen. Do you think Nature's Prophet considers something like the Orchid this game, or what do you feel itemization-wise for MP?
Yeah, I think Orchid is great, but looks like Queen of Pain's going to get bursted down. A ton of great initiation. He jumps in, but there's a ton of heroes here. Might actually have to spin. The spiders will get microed away. He might actually be in a little bit of trouble. They're not coming in because all of the Fire
He's
Spirit
actually
has
turning
been
and
used.
looking to fight.
Yeah.
Get a Burrow Strike Omni Slash off. Could be a kill. Instead, they find Cast here at bottom lane. Sam H. Not going to win the battle against the Death Wall, but with a glimpse, they can cancel it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Sam H gets. I think Orchid is fine as an offensive choice. What do you think about Blade Mail?
I think Blade Mail's good until the BKB comes up for Shadow Fiend to some extent.
This team is actually very soft against BKB.
I don't think, I mean, there's no items that help against Brood really at all. And against the Ember Spirit, you'd rather have an Orchid, so I think to me, the one other maybe consideration if you want a 5-man is the mech on NP, or I guess a Necro.
Necro 3, obviously, against Brood is a fine choice. I don't know. I feel like there's not a single item that gives them huge impact.
No.
By the same right, like, any item he gets is decent for the team.
Maybe he goes for the Shadow Blade, because that's like a hero where it's like, okay, our MP invested 2.8k in the Shadow Blade and it gets countered by some sentries, but you don't care as much if it's your NP as opposed to your Jug.
The guarantee kills you get when you pick Disruptor on your lineup, you get 1 or 2 of those every game.
And that's important. You want to just slow down the Earthshaker, blink timing whenever possible. Both Radiant supports are looking very poor right about now.
Alright, going straight into the Roshan.
No Medallion, it looks like. Sam H, that's another item he could have considered if they wanted to go for it. At this point, he's become more like a 4 position with the Sankin getting maybe more farm allocation. But that can quickly change if you have your MP split pushing and getting farm somewhere on the map.
Uh-oh, Sanking, a little bit of trouble here, but there's no more chain, so is he really
Oh,
going
he
for
got
this?
him with the Fire Remnant, just barely. Doesn't have
Gets
Sandstorm.
Sandstorm soon. Wow, gets a solo kill there.
Barely got that one, but did do so.
I think that stops the Roshan, because they just don't have enough damage output on TnC side.
Yeah, and it is Orchid coming out for Nature's Prophet.
So again, just on a gut feeling, I feel like we're getting to a stage where TnC, the full game plan has not been executed.
I think Sankin needs to buy back here. I think you do not want to let Rave... Your game plan falls apart if Rave manages to walk in, take Aegis, and then just play... Do what they did in Game 2, where they're just playing slow defensively. They do buy some time, but they can't afford to lose Teehee. Nice healing ward for now. Chrissy tries...
That's 2 ultimates being used
and
just for that,
Sankin
though.
did not have to buy back. He can immediately TP bottom to the tier 1.
Fissure kind of not really helping out, and they will actually get zoned back.
Well,
so
that's a better play than by Mech Sankin.
Patience from TnC. And
Brood is creating space, though.
are they going back right in? Because Juggernaut has gone for this max healing ward build, his damage output is very lackluster.
It's on cooldown now as they go into the Roche pit.
Oh, Sam H is going to get picked off. Yeah, okay.
That's a sad way to die.
That's like the same spot he died. Here comes the... Well, they're not going to jump in yet, but here's a Spirit.
Static Storm it. Epicenter.
Come in, boy. I'm waiting for you with the Epi, but he actually snatched the Aegis. That's huge. He's going to come back alive. He's dropping low. He's going to go down without actually using his Omni Slash. Disruptor gets picked up in the air. The game could be over just from this one play.
On Earth.
And of course, Tier 2 is going to go down on the top lane. Wow.
Sankin even preemptively epicentered, expecting something like that to happen.
That's almost like a... Like, I dare you to come in, but he did. He got the snatch, and wow.
That's a big play.
Yeah, I mean...
That kind of shouldn't happen, but sometimes it
did
just
happen.
does. Yeah, exactly. You can't...
I mean, KYXY should not have denied the Aegis, but it did. So, like, you know, Dota is Dota sometimes.
That was such a... That was like a... That's the game-changing moment right now. This puts Rave in the driver's seat. They can now just play comfortably. They don't even have to get aggressive and push down towers, take fights, although they kind of can to some extent with Brood just pressuring top. That'll draw heroes top, and if Rave can find kills elsewhere using the Ember Spirit, they'll continue to do so.
So that's a T2 tower at the top lane, a T1 mid, a Roshan snatch, which didn't give them any gold experience, but they got, what, 3 kills out of that as well? Yeah, the Go Graph now fully reflects. I love the SNY on Broodmother. I felt that personally Brood is an excellent right click. I mean, look at her ult, right?
But without getting anything from the movement speed. I mean, if you're in web, you have max move speed. Do you still like it?
Sometimes you're out of the web. I just think that the fact that you're very tanky, because a lot of times you just gets nuked down, right?
Yep.
Now you have to commit that extra 1 or 2 nukes. Well, obviously BKBs, you know, serve the same purpose, but you gotta maim them, man.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, yeah, exactly. Maim is one of those.
Maim plus your ult. Aim moving anywhere, right?
All right, well, now TnC decides to smoke up.
This smoke has to work.
Yeah, and whose ideal target is Ember or Shadow Fiend, I guess?
I think the ideal target is anybody, and then you go into a push, because they just need to grab a kill. If you could kill the Aegis and the second kill,
Fiend.
yeah.
Aegis was on Ember's
He's got Yules.
Well, they're going to Omni Slash. Won't even get a chance.
Okay.
That was slight overcommit.
Yeah, I don't know. But he did have Yule, so it could have...
yeah. Maybe not the Static Storm to be used. Now they're going to get a secondary pickup. They catch out Earthshaker, throws an Echo Slam, but Nenny gets Burrow Striked and Fury down.
But this is where the Brute pick comes in, because, yep, you got 2 kills. Guess what? TP back and defend your tower now.
Yep.
So...
It's still worthwhile smoke gank and... They're going to catch him out in the Sprout. Burrow Strike to follow. Then they dust, and Ryu looking to lifesteal his way back to victory, but Queen of Pain salvages that one.
I mean, this is where BKB would have made a difference, and SNY would not have. But nice pick off by Chrissy. To me, Chrissy right now has been the MVP of this game, and perhaps this series. Has been making the play where it counts. Bottom lane, he just completely removed Sam H from the game, right?
Yeah.
Killed him multiple
Game 2,
times.
his last track was a big playmaker as well.
Aegis Snatch this game.
Sam H, yeah, like you say, he has been a non-factor this game. So TnC, have they work cut out for them? Sanking Ayu's had a great series. To me, he's maybe been the best performer on the TnC side, next to kind of T-He to some extent on the mid lane. But
That's a Manta style, just to break the Orchid that's going to be coming on Nature's Prophet.
for Ember Spirit,
Yeah.
yeah, this is pretty standard for Chrissy. He never really prioritizes getting that like glass cannony,
The
Battle
Battle
Fury,
Fury,
dataless type of play.
Well, he doesn't have the Manta now,
Oh,
and
it's a
he will
base,
eat
yeah.
a lot of damage. Will die as a result.
He buys it before he dies, but that's still a key hero to be killing off at this stage of the game regardless.
We
so.
say Sam H is not really in the game, at least in the lane stage, but in terms of this mid game, his pick-off potential is a big crucial part of how TnC is going to be clawing themselves back.
Even
in the game.
he was the one who helped pick off the Brood at top. Then he
Yeah.
comes bottom, and he can keep being instrumental in ganking up Brood in the top lane.
Would you say it's an accurate phrase to say that TnC is trying to claw themselves back in the game, or they're closer than that?
I think they're a bit closer than that, but the playstyle which they're going to use to get back in the game is like very much find a pick off, back off, and farm, and then as soon as possible, go for another pick off.
Double damage on T-He. He's coming in. Burrow Strike's going to be there. He's going to Omni Slash. Creeps are coming in. BKB and Yules defensively being used, but Sonic Wave is going to do a ton of damage. Spin not doing that much thanks to the BKB. They did force it out, though.
Yeah. And he had to spin as well afterwards, otherwise he could have maybe looked to get those DD right clicks to finish the kill. Great vision from the high ground. We'll save Cass, and that.
Defensive death ward.
I mean, there's a healing ward. This is a dead tier 2 tower, and they'll take this and I imagine retreat out. They used to. A lot of their, I mean, they invested everything to make that happen.
Ember's back too. Let's get out. Yeah.
Let's get out. I don't think they'll find a Brood pick off because Brood will be very wary of the fact that they do back off. But this is where TnC farm their Ancients, farm their neutrals. They've set up some deep wards in the Radiant side of the map. I think too risky to go for those Radiant Ancients, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, just look to force the Brood maybe out of this top lane for a bit. But
yeah. I like what TnC is doing. Essentially creating chaos. You don't want a very methodical game, because Rave showed in game 2, if you're going to give them that, they will out-farm you. And because of the picks, their picks are more geared towards late.
Bold move from Rave. They come straight towards the top lane.
Seems like they
smoked
know.
Up.
TnC
Maybe that Dire Ward scouted. I'm not sure where they left from, but that is a kind of unexpected smoke direction to join up with the Brood at top lane. But at the same time, they see no one pushing out the mid lane. And that's where, well, if those other 4 heroes were somewhere else on the map, they'd either maybe smoke. There's no Roshan to smoke towards. If they head towards the Dire Secret Shop, they're only doing it to get wards down.
There's a Claymore on the Juggernaut, so I wonder. I think Battle Fury is more likely.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Transition towards late game. It's like the backup plan, I guess, now that they haven't won early.
I actually prefer picking up the Crawling Blade, though, if that's what you're going for. More farm.
I mean, the Silver Edge isn't bad this game. You can get rid of the Shadow Fiend passive, get rid of the Brood passive. I say that, I assume you can. I still don't know half of this. There's so many exceptions with Silver Edge that it doesn't all make sense.
It doesn't get rid of the plus damage of Shadow Fiend,
Yeah.
but it'll get rid of the minus armor.
Yeah.
I think the minus 40% damage output is, to me, one of the best reasons you want to get it late.
Yep.
Unless you're up against like a bristleback, which you're definitely getting against the passive. We'll see what he gets. So.
For now, just going to fall back. There we go. Battle Fury it is. And
It's all right, yeah.
bit more damage output in the Omni Slash, and it's more like what else do you get? The other options you go that kind of 6.83 Scotty build, where you're just looking at a ton of stats, becoming that carry that can fight anyone, but I just don't feel like that's necessarily going to be the case with Rave's lineup.
They find him, but Brewmother just
Steps to the
hangs
side,
out.
didn't take damage against
This ward,
down
look at
as
that on high
well.
ground, is what's making it work, but
Ooh.
this
Now he
is-
goes for the
This is
TP.
ridiculous. Like, okay.
What's this Ember doing mid?
All right, I like this. AU is like, forget this, I'm getting a gem.
Chrissy's got to know there's a lot of detection at this top lane,
Yeah.
which he's going to walk. Okay, that's his own Radiant Sentry ward.
Oh, okay, things are looking bad. Not in his happy place right now.
The Flame Remnant's
Oh,
not
he's-
going to be enough.
Okay.
Could he use
He
like
coulda
a
used
triple
one- yeah,
Fire
to-
Remnant, or like he could have used them offensively for damage.
Right, but he went for the...
At that point, like,
Escape.
what's your escape plan? Yeah, you die to a Disruptor, Jug, whoever.
I mean, if it was a me and pub, right? It's like, all right, got the kill.
Yeah,
We're
that's the same.
but, but then you die as you know.
I would have done the triple Fire Remnant
Yeah,
mid
yeah,
to
yeah.
secure that kill in pub, and then suddenly,
you know,
yeah,
with emphasis, right? You got to get the kill. You don't go in, you know, let
yeah,
them go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that play. I don't think his teammates would be okay with that play.
Chrissy's definitely not okay with the play.
Yeah, Chrissy himself would be like, damn, I'm a noob.
All right, BKB finish, and we saw from that previous engagement, very necessary.
Yeah. This is... And then unfortunately he has this kind of Axe BKB where he's very much reliant on his ultimate and his team fight as far as what he offers to the team. He can stay alive a bit, but it's all about throwing Sonic Waves now. Maybe looking to hunt down the Brood a bit with the gem pickup, which is going to remain on Queen of Pain.
TnC seems very cognizant of these smokes. I say that, and he's going to get jumped on. Can he activate his BKB? Great force
Nice.
stab. He will need a BKB right now. Sanking, though, in the middle of a Static Storm on top
Chrissy's
of...
stuck?
Yeah, he is. He doesn't have Blacking Bar of his own. A lot of backup damage. Do they have that healing ward? It's a level 4 healing ward not being focused. Everybody's still alive. Teehee still running away. Blink Dagger forward, and looks like he will go down as a result. Nobody dies, though, on the side of Rave.
Yeah, Chrissy barely survived the Static Storm there. He got out with like 100... It wore off 100 to 200 HP, and then he got the Fire Remnant out.
And this is where you feels like if you went for the Scotty build, the extra HP, very much so necessary.
Yeah, I think the Scotty build maybe would have helped him out a bit more there.
It feels like how these fights are going, he doesn't necessarily need more damage. He needs to just survive. It looks like Glimpse.
Oh, Chrissy brought back. He's got another Fire Remnant available, and... Oh, he still gets hit by it.
That's cheeky. I thought you could destroy that.
I think you can. I think you maybe mistimed it. Well, to this, I think it has to like land while you're in the Sleight of Fist.
Okay.
But he like came back from the Sleight of Fist and then hit him when he came back. Maybe. I'm pretty sure you can if it's timed correctly.
All right, so Shadow Fiend still looking at Yule's BKB. I'm not sure what his next item of choice is.
Last game it was the Blink and then Butterfly. Blink this game. I mean, it's kind of like, who can you actually blow up? There's BKB on Queen of Pain. Jug can Blade Fury out.
Yeah, I don't think Blink is
Yeah, I think you go more just get your tier 4 items, but...
Oh, he's going Blink? You kill the Prophet over and over again. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm not convinced by the Blink pickup, but
I'm
it's
actually-
like a personal preference thing, maybe.
I think like Helm into Satanic is... Because if they're not blowing you up completely from get-go, you're going to be life-stealing things back.
Yeah, I
That's
think
how it feels.
Helm, like Satanic Butterfly as like your next 2 items would work fine, or do like even a Daedalus, kind of what like we saw Dendy doing a bit on his Shadow Fiend. But to me, the Blink doesn't offer much. You're not comboing with it. Like yeah, Earthshaker has a Blink, but Earthshaker's never leading a fight with it with his Blink Echo unless TnC are getting caught out of position. Earthshaker is very much more like the middle team fight / end of team fight, where he comes in after BKBs have worn off or heroes have been pushed into bad positions.
Yeah, normally I also say, look, you could get Blink just for a defensive purpose, like you could split push and use Blink as an escape, but you have Brewmother kind of fulfilling that role. So Well, we'll see how it goes.
It's maybe just like he's confident and comfortable doing it. They're going to catch out. Sand King here gets the 4-stuff, has a Burrow Strike as well. He actually forced into a cask. But I'm not going to bother him too much. It's a good time for Rave to fight. They've got the BKB on Brood now. BKB SMY, a lot of fighting potential coming out of this Broodmother.
Feels like Sand King is playing more ballsy than he should.
Oh, BKB SF blink forward as well. They see
there
cut
you
this
go.
around, but he's going to go instantly in on the Disruptor. The Requiem combo lands. And they're going to be forced back here. Chrissy on the front lines with a DD rune of all things. Ayo cannot fight into this. Will
Barely
survive
TPing
for
out.
now. Nope, not going to get out of there.
Yeah, this chaotic fight is not favoring TnC as Rave's got the better jump. The Blink Requiem, I mean, we say it's not for the 5-on-5 fight, but when you remove one out of the fight immediately like that,
Yeah.
Rave is kind of doing it right now.
Just fighting into the BKBs just didn't really seem to amount to much. And also being able to burst down Jug.
All right.
This is a hard game for Jug to get off good Omni Slashes.
Yeah.
I mean, Fire Remnant, Shadowfiend Yules.
Well, I think a big part of it is his item choice. I don't think he's tanky enough.
No.
Normally I say an Age of Snatch deserves another, but I don't think Queen of Pain will be blinking into there for the play. Actually, that would just be a feed.
So did TnC just resort to some good old classic Rat Dodo out of the Nature's Prophet, or?
Like, it's definitely not TnC playstyle, but I guess that's what they have to do.
They're against an Aegis for now, so they're definitely not going to be looking to team fight against the BKB and just kind of superior team fight of Rave for the most part. TnC just aren't never fighting openings. Like, they have the last 2 or 3 team fights they've lost. They haven't used Omni Slash. They haven't used Sand King Epicenter. They did get an Omni Slash off in one fight, but there was no follow-up damage to get additional kills.
Yeah. I mean, a part of that is perhaps TnC. Well, he's got Manta, so. Yeah, he's not, oh, okay.
He's has the Aegis and not going to chase further.
Yeah, part of them is just not finding the right opportunity to throw their spells out. I think another part is that Rave is very cognizant that if they group up, that's what could beat them. So I think in these fights are spreading very well, and it helps when you have a carry like Ember Spirit that can come in from a different angle. And I think Witch Doctor and Earthshaker has been doing an excellent job just staying really far back.
Yep. Jug will now complete that Battle Fury. Jake's item progression is just going to disappear this game. And the entire TnC team are very slow to pick up these mid to late game items.
Mm-hmm. You know, another item choice that he could have gone for is Aghanims on the Juggernaut instead of the Battle Fury.
Yeah.
Just play him much more like a quote-unquote spellcaster, right? Like, you just get off your ultimate.
Yep. Well, see there, it's a very late Battle Fury in that sense.
I mean, that doesn't mean much. No. If this game could go on for 80 minutes, that Battle Fury is very early relative to the length of the game, right? Although I'm not sure if this game's going to go on to 80 minutes. One could only dream.
Well, for now, it looks like Rave are not going to be looking to let the game last that long. They're grouping up and kind of looking to start pushing their camp behind the Brood a bit. With a smoke.
That's an early healing ward. Oh, Echo to
with
start
good reason,
up.
maybe?
He's going to actually run out there alive. Spin will come out. Epicenter on the backline, but looks like Blink got canceled by the Requiem. Broodmother attacking with a BKB. Buyback immediately from the Shaker. We're going to need to see some buyback from TnC, or this will not even last till 40 minutes.
They don't have buyback. All 3 of those here. Okay, Nature's Prophet, the only one with a buyback, and now they're going to focus down the tier 3. Buyback comes out. Chrissy can maybe TP home and come back to the Fire Remnant, and that's exactly what he's going to do. No glimpse to cancel it. He's coming back to this top lane, fully healed up. He can even bundle up some of his teammates if he chooses to, and that's top racks down. TnC suddenly in a tough spot.
Well, it's going to try to glimpse him back, and they do, but he's right back in it. And now 2 heroes being stuck up here. This is going to be GG.
That's a dieback from NP. There's only buyback on Queen of Pain. TnC had a great run in the qualifiers, but...
Well, they had a great sprint to start the best-of-3 series, and then they're out of gas.
Oh.
Yeah. Rave, perhaps a more experienced team.
I think that's kind of what they showed here. Just,
yeah.
For the most part, item selections on point. Just happy to play the slow, patient game and wait for TnC to mess up.
But for the sake of C Dota, I hope that TnC is not going away because they're a very exciting team to watch. Sonic Wave is actually going to hit thin air.
Yeah. To me, it's a team who's been playing together as 5 unknown players for a while. They'll continue to do so. They'll look at this qualifiers for the most part as a success. And Well, they bring down the Aegis, but good luck killing this guy a second time. Chrissy not going to go for the Sleight of Fist, which maybe would have killed off Disruptor.
They glimpse him back in. Do they have Static Storm? They won't, but they'll bring him down. Omni Slash. Look at that camera go. You know what? They're not GGing out yet. I like that. It's the last match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You may have a 0.5% chance to win, but, you know, what else you got to lose?
I mean, it's TI qualifiers too. Like, for all you know, Rave is going to have suddenly, like, some catastrophic thing happen to them, which
Look,
you obviously don't hope for.
Yeah. Something could happen.
Yeah.
They got a Battle Fury, right? That's the late game item. Cleave them spiders, yo.
Well, and for TnC, you still... I feel like they still, for the most part, need to sit back, although not to the extent where Rave just gets more... I mean, they're going to pick up items. They may wait for the next Roshan.
Yeah.
But I mean, TnC can't just run at Rave here. Maybe while Ember Spirit's dead, they try and make something happen. And
Are they actually trying to push out mid? This looks like a desperate YOLO mid attempt.
Yeah. I mean, there's two options. You sit back and wait for yourselves to die / for Rave to make a mistake, or you just YOLO forward and probably just YOLO into your deaths. But
well, 20... I mean, if they're playing to win this game, as soon as Ember Spirit comes back alive, you go back.
yes, I think I agree. I think they are definitely playing to win this game, Lumi. But
well,
no, I mean, positions like this, it's like, what is really the best path? Do you wait for the slow death? Do you go forward and make a risky play and then it's a fast death?
I mean, we need some MV words, wise word here. You like, what does he say? You don't lose slowly, right? You go for the win.
Yeah. And this is the
what's
thing.
the winning play then?
Well, I mean, sometimes Envy, when he talks about being in these terrible, unwinnable positions, he just goes, he called it suicide pushing. He goes to a lane and suicide pushes. It's just like, I'm going to push it out, force him to come back and defend, and probably die. 90% I die, but that's the game plan, suicide push. And maybe that's kind of what Nature's Prophet or Jug has to resort to some extent, just to slow things down.
You don't save for buyback, right? Just on the game plan of the suicide play.
Yeah. Maybe the hero, like, off-pushing does, but that's kind of how you have to maximize your itemization by getting whatever farm is on the map. If you're sitting back in your base, hiding, no one's getting farm. You have no chance of winning, so...
Yeah, Rave is going to do the same thing, which is, yeah, I'm going to go and push down one lane now. That's 5. Good luck.
They've got AC this time around. They're getting scary and scarier.
I mean, like, the Broodmother is already a huge issue in the last fight.
They're going to surprise him at the T2 tower here. Oh, they caught out the Sand King. That's not good. They can't afford to lose him. Ayu, will he get out of here? Chrissy goes forward, gets him with the Searing Chain. Uh-oh. Sand King without buyback, and this is looking like the end for TnC now.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, Sonic Wave to kill the creeps. He needs to blink back.
Didn't even kill the creeps.
Yeah. They need an Omni Slash, like a GG Omni Slash right now. Where's that Juggernaut? It's coming in on the right side. He actually can't even get into the fight. Shadow Fiend's zoning everybody out.
They've lost Sam H again. They're just going to get to work on the tier 3 towers here. Rave feels like there's nothing they can do to lose this game at this point. They're going to focus down the racks. Mega Creeps is surely it. TnC will fight to the bitter end.
Sonic Wave is coming back in just a bit. Oh, but the Echo Slam here from the Shaker, and it's going to bring down Teehee once again. Have we seen an Omni Slash this game? Because I haven't.
Same with the Epicenter. Since, like, maybe they've gone it for, like, 1 or 2 solo kills here or there, but unfortunately the team fights have just been going Rave's way every single time. They position so well, so there's never an Omni Slash opportunity, and then they commit to the Jug when they know they can burst him down, chain stun him, and so much of that has been Chrissy on the Ember Spirit. He keeps chipping away at them, spams the Sleight of Fist, gets him low, and then, okay, Jug's half HP, let's fully commit, let's kill him now before he Omni Slashes.
C got too good. I'm calling it here. Chrissy. MVP.
This to me is, him and Rio are the two star players of this team. Like JO's solid on carry, but he doesn't make the flashy plays, and often it has been like forced to play catch up. We saw in this series where he's playing catch up on Shadow Fiend 2 games in a row, partly because of the playstyle, but it's Rave who stay alive and continue their journey for that TI5.
The Pinot dream lives on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they had to knock out Pinot team themselves.
Pinot versus Pinot. I mean, you'd hope that it lives on, but. Whew.
Honestly, though, Rave, what are the chances going up against both of the MVP squads?
It's not less than 50%, I'd say. They're against what? It's a rematch against Phoenix.
Yes.
Huh.
I think they have a pretty good chance. It's one of those things where they've played each other so much, right, that they know each other well, and it's kind of 50-50 either way. Whoever feels the most comfortable, it really just comes down to execution. And I think those are generally my favorite games of Dota, is when it's the draft it plays a part, but it's not as important as just playing correctly. So
this game, though, I think the draft was it could go either way, right? And
Yes,
Rave executed
exactly.
much better.
Exactly.
I liked Rave's draft better, but I think with how good a start TnC got, the double bounty rune killing the Brood, that kind of equalized whatever draft advantage I gave Rave. Because suddenly the Brood was not a problem until much. I mean, the Brood became a problem, but that was just based on the execution. So I think if Rave didn't have that poor start, maybe the draft, we could have seen Rave's draft look a lot stronger.
Well, the way that I saw it was TnC got a lot out of the mid lane. The Juggernaut obviously won mid versus the Shadow Fiend. Prophet got killed a few too many times, and then from there you're looking for rotations. You can't really rotate a Disruptor that much because his damage is weak. So it pretty much comes down to the Sand King and the Quap rotating. The Sand King did a good gank, but the Quap kept getting blown up by really nice ganks out of Rave. That was usually Chrissy coming in with the Fissure and the Spawn Spiderlings from the Broodmother, and that was just so much burst damage that they just continuously bursted on the Quap, and her ability to rotate around the map never really happened. So despite Quap being like a safe hero, it was 1 second, bam, dead. And they did that at least twice, and because they did that, it prevented the Quap from going around the map and creating space. So basically it was just the early game Jug, and due to the build that he went with the fast Sanjin Yasha, it's not as aggressive, and it doesn't snowball as hard as Mask of Madness does. I think he honestly should have gone Mask of Madness. I like the Sanjin Yasha build, but with Mask of Madness, he could have gone into Roche and taken it that one time.
Well,
but
he never had
instead
crits. That's the...
They should have gone more crit maybe,
Yeah,
because
maybe change it up.
like he beats the SF in a 1v1, but he doesn't translate as well into the late game, and he got a Battle Fairy to catch up, but he needed to go for the Mask of Madness immediately, maybe Mask of Madness Yasha, and then do SNY or something like that, but there just wasn't pressure from him. It was pretty much all on the Quap or the Sand King, because the Prophet's just there to casually set up. It's not like a hero that can take charge.
And that's what we've seen out of TnC, right? They pretty much go all in on the mid-game fighting and pushing, and sometimes they might need to change up gears, but they're not really comfortable changing up gears. And that's where a team like Rave can really play the long game and just out-execute when it comes
Earthshaker
later.
ended up, to me, being the other key pick in both games that Rave won. This game, I was about to say, that was one thing. As much as we focus on Chrissy, so much of his snowball came from those kill secures that Earthshaker provided. Like, he would go in the Searing Change, and I think like 3 kills of his early game wouldn't have happened without Earthshaker being there.
I think the big part of how he never got off an Omni Slash was like the Blink Echo to initiate and the chain stun he provided. So I keep saying that he needed more HP, but I'm not sure if more HP would have helped.
I think it would have just been the same problem where Ember chips away at him until they know they can blow him up, and that's
then, the
it
Shaker
seemed like
comes in.
Ninja Boogie would only initiate when they knew they had when he wasn't full HP and they could burst him down. So to me, he was those two were the two kind of key players. I mean, they're on the heroes that make the flashy plays, so it's easy to highlight them. But Rave as a whole executed this strategy great. Brood after the first blood caught up as well and didn't have any problems, applied a lot of pressure. So
I liked his build a lot. It was something we don't normally see. I mean, I think the Sanjin Yasha was questionable, maybe not the ideal thing, but immediately afterwards he went for BKB and they got a AC, which was really interesting. It basically turned him into a super hard carry. It's a lot of attack speed out of the SNY and the AC with the Midas. And did he have power treads as well?
Yes.
He just had so much attack speed that leverages your ultimate really well. It gives you like plus 100 damage at level 16, which he hit faster than Midas. And he was hitting as hard as the Shadow Fiend was. And Shadow Fiend didn't go full DPS, but that with the, they had SF ult and AC, that's like minus 11 armor. That's a really good solution against Jug. Even if you Blade Furies, you just burst him down in a couple right clicks. It was a really cool build, and I think that allowed Ryer to transition from instead of a split pusher to allow him to use his individual skill and actually carry.
The Broodmother in general is just a great curveball that just kind of threw off the psyche of TnC a little bit. They weren't used to playing against it. It hasn't been something we've really seen a whole lot in C. And it's one of those things that can maybe tip the scales in your favor just by making the other team just a bit more uncomfortable than they have been. So
Agree totally.
So down to 3 teams now, both MVPs. Rave have the gauntlet to go through to make it as the SCA representative. But I feel like all these 3 teams, very even playing field.
They definitely could take BO3s off of each other. So nobody's sitting here with their chairs. Or
is there either of the games tomorrow where you feel any team has an advantage? Like, you think Rave, like, are they all just like pretty much 50-50 or at least like within plus or minus 5%?
I think it depends on how Rave wins their next game, if they win. If they 2-0 Phoenix, they're going all the way. The Pinoy Dream. Like,
I agree.
They're a very momentum-based team. They're very smart, but yeah, I think the momentum will help them a lot.
I think that's a scary thing for Hot 6 because whoever Hot 6 is up against in the finals, I don't see Hot 6 as favorites by any margin whatsoever.
What I like, what I see often happening in Dota is it's very difficult to beat a team twice. Like, if you beat a team in the winners bracket finals and that team that you beat ends up going through the losers bracket finals and meeting you again in the grand finals, I feel like more often than not that loser bracket team ends up coming back and winning.
Well, Ehome disagrees.
Ehome disagrees, but
Complexity disagrees.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this qualifiers it's been less common, but I feel like as Dota as a whole.
when teams are on an equal playing
When
field.
teams are on an equal
I
playing
would say
field,
that's the
largely.
key thing here. If you have like you go
Right.
back to like the summer group stages where like the Rave or Not Today end up in the lower bracket, they're going to get beat down the second
Exactly.
time.
But if they're teams that we feel are pretty equal,
Yeah.
it's really hard for an equal team to take 2 series in a row off of a really good team, I feel. Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to be done for the day. Make sure you tune in at the same time tomorrow. We're going to finish up the SEA region with that losers bracket finals and grand finals. But don't go anywhere. We have Europe coming up next. We're going to have, I don't know who we're going to be starting off with, but it'll be the winners bracket finals for Europe, correct?
It
Yes.
may also be a tiebreaker game if it's needed between
Oh yeah,
LC and Vega.
yeah, because Yasha. Yeah, if you're still
that's already
if
being
you're
played.
still interested in watching Dota, I think Yasha is being played right now, and that's at Vega versus.
It's 1-0 for Vega. They had to play their group stage match and a potential tiebreaker. So if they go 1-1, there's a tiebreaker to follow.
So it's effectively a best of 3 going on right now.
So they're in game 2 now. If there's a tiebreaker, it may be on the Sun stream, maybe on Yasha.
So if I'm not mistaken, it will be Na'Vi versus 4 Anchors and a Sea Captain coming
That
up
would be
next.
an excellent match.
Yeah, that's the 2 number 1 seeds.
Yep. So keep your eye on Sanj, guys.
believe.
We're out for the day. It has been Luminous, Gods, Purge, and myself, K-Poptosis. Thanks for staying around with us and watching some fantastic Dota.
Actually, I think they get him regardless. Blink Fissure is all they need. Blink, Enchant, Chrissy, taking a ton of damage. That point booster normally very helpful for surviving. Chrissy's going to get silenced immediately. Defensive swap has to be used. TP's going to come in right now as
They
well.
waited way too long. He's going to go down anyways. Now the Clink's in the front line doing a lot of damage. Timbersaur's back and looking to chase on down the Witch Doctor. Coconut's bouncing around. Ninja Boogie's trapped in the backlines. We brought down by Undying. Zombies, fissures, everything working against him. And now Timbersaw redeems himself from his previous misplays. He gets pushing out another lane. They have someone who could just push out a problematic lane and then TP in to join the team. Whoa, big blink, Echo Slam, Fissure doesn't get the follow-up. Hit the totem though, and Rave get blown to smithereens.
Yeah, huge
By
fight.
that.
I don't think this blessing is doing a lot
It's
of
got
work.
another rupture, Jo.
What is this cooldown? He doesn't have the TP now, so he's kind of on his own, but his teammates is coming in. Blood Ride's going to come in, and do they have to
Still
raise this?
silence.
They will get the kill as a result. One more raise should do it. Jo going to get a little bit of regen back thanks to that.
He could have just ran there. Could have let his 2 supports finish off the kill with Death Ward in the kinetic field. Now bottom lane, Finger comes out. Down goes Bristleback.
TP in here. Quap kind of come in. Oh, no Sonic Wave. That would have been big. Chrissy trying to line up a stun. Will he hit it? He gets the courier, though. Not exactly what he wants, because that's a TP from safe lane to essentially die.
Surge forward, he's juking in the trees. Fissure's there, but he's already popped the blade mail. This makes it a lot harder to bring him down. And he does not want to use the Figure. Going to wait for it to expire, and now they bring him down with the AoE damage.
Okay, Sonic Wave's still alive. He's finally get brought down. Queen of Pain on the back line, trying to get a couple kills. Rio's going to get out of there.
Death Ward. And some serious damage. Kills off Lashrak, who's going to lose a lot of those Bloodstone charges. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain.
I don't think this blessing is doing a lot of
It's
work.
got another rupture, Jo.
What is this cooldown? He doesn't have the TP now, so he's kind of on his own, but his teammates is coming in. Blood Ride's going to come in, and do they have to
Still
raise this?
silence.
They will get the kill as a result. One more raise should do it. Jo going to get a little bit of regen back thanks to that.
He could have just ran there. Could have let his 2 supports finish off the kill with Death Ward in the kinetic field. Now bottom lane, Finger comes out. Down goes Bristleback.
TP in here. Quap kind of come in. Oh, no Sonic Wave. That would have been big. Chrissy trying to line up a stun. Will he hit it? He gets the courier, though. Not exactly what he wants, because that's a TP from safe lane to essentially die.
Surge forward, he's juking in the trees. Fissure's there, but he's already popped the blade mail. This makes it a lot harder to bring him down. And he does not want to use the Figure. Going to wait for it to expire, and now they bring him down with the AoE damage.
Okay, Sonic Wave's still alive. He's finally get brought down. Queen of Pain on the back line, trying to get a couple kills. Rio's going to get out of there.
Death Ward. Doing some serious damage. Kills off Lashrak, who's going to lose a lot of those Bloodstone charges. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain.
Ward is dropped down. They do see Rio coming in right now.
They're turning this one around. They've
They
got
got Static
Leshrac on the
Storm.
move. And Leshrac,
Oh.
by the way, just picked up an Ocarina called BKB Wreck him. They're going to blow up the Disruptor, start the fight. Wall. Use someone unnecessarily defensively, but they'll get a second kill, and it's a easy team fight from here for Rave. Bloodseeker TP out.
Thanks.
Unsuccessful.
That will allow them to push bottom. Crew Wave conveniently right next to them. Do they got triple buybacks? I don't think so.
They've seen it.
He's got
Aegis was
Yules,
on
though. He's
Ember's
got
career.
Yules.
Like an Omnicypher. Won't even get a chance.
Okay.
That was slight
Overcommit?
overcommit.
Yeah. Oh, Echo to
With
start
good reason,
things up.
maybe?
He's going to actually run out of there alive. Spin will come out. Epicenter on the backline, but looks like Blink got canceled by the Requiem. Brewmother attacking with a BKB. Buyback immediately from the Shaker. We're going to need to see some buyback from TnC, or this will not even last till 40 minutes.
They don't have buyback. All 3 of those here. Okay, Nature's Prophet, the only one with a buyback. And